because Stefan from the Descendants used to play one. Does that one ever come here?
And Greg Ginn.
Yeah.
Totally. Seems like everybody that played at the church ended up with one of those. I don't know if there was a sale on them for old punk rockers. What's going on here? There we go. Blow everybody completely out.
How hot do you keep the preamp at?
However you want.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Keep up a little bit.
Not too bad.
So of course, like. Tuned the same too for that. Yeah. But okay, so. I usually play when I'm testing out amps is of course the Hell song. So have you got any Hell song fans?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we're probably gonna play that one tonight. So yeah. So I'll play the beginning riff of that. How about that?
Sweet. Yeah.
Okay. So this riff, it kind of came out of. I remember Derek and we had a little chat about like what we wanted to do on the next record, and this was one of the times where I think he listened to me. Usually, as a songwriter, he's the type of person that he'll sit in front of his recording stuff, and this stuff will just flow out of him. And he's gotten better and better at it over the years. Just sitting there and letting music flow out of him. He's one of the most musical people I've ever met in my entire life. And he had played me what was the melody and the skeleton of the song. And by the way, this story isn't going to end the way you think it is. It's not like me being like, ooh, this would sound good. No, it ends with me being like, man, fuck you, I wanted to write that riff. But that riff you wrote is so good. so good. Yeah, because we usually hooks with him sometimes will be the last thing to come. It's always melody first. So he was like, we need a riff here. I don't know what to do. And I was like, well, I got this. And I was playing some like run-of-the-mill metal stuff over top of it, trying to play up here. And he was just like, what about something low? What about something really like it played down here? A little more like Johnny Cash kind of thing when he first played it for me. But yeah, when we just played this, like he was like, and as he went through and created this riff, that was one of the many points in my life where I was just like, wow, this dude is an absolute talent, and I will never be as proficient at writing songs and just plucking ideas out of whatever the universe has for us. So in the end, it sounded like right, and just something so simple became something so important to us. And when we got the chance to put that out into the world and get the response that we did, which was the record label being like, guys, this doesn't sound anything like In Too Deep, what the fuck are you doing? And us kind of standing strong and being like, well, no, this is the direction that we're in. Like, in our minds, we were kind of like, you're the ones that made us tour the world. You're the ones that took us out of the suburbs. So this is what we're writing about now. One of our friends has contracted HIV, and that's what this song is about. The song is about celebrating, her life. And to this day, she is an incredible philanthropist, does a ton of work in Africa. We found out about her contracting the disease when we were 23, and it just shook the foundations, right? Because we're in a rock band, we're out there. I was always a relationship guy, but some guys were out there having some fun. And that song, every time I play it, not only do I think I better get the solo right, it makes me think of a time in this band where we were trying to prove to the people that gave us the money to record our record that we were right. Now, there's going to be times in your life, of course, when you have to make these decisions, but you also have to take people's criticisms and advice on board. So we did that, and we eventually didn't sell as many records as All Killer No Filler, right? So our sophomore slump was real. But at the same time, shows were getting bigger. So around that time, 2003, who was alive to remember what was going on in popular culture there?
So war in Iraq.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. That was going on. But this is going to be a little bit lighter. This is
Illegal
this is
downloading.
the downloading era. You know, LimeWire, stuff like that. So we ended up getting more people coming to shows because they had access to these free records, and they weren't buying records as much. Now, this kind of began the whole streaming era. This was the very beginning. So we got signed right before the old business model of the big record labels came crashing to the ground, and had to give way to the internet and the changing technologies. But we were lucky enough to have put out a record that people wanted to download and wanted to listen to, and we got to reap the benefits of that. And to this day, that song makes me think of that era and how confusing it was, but liberating it was, because, like I said, we were seeing people singing all the words to these brand new songs, and we worked really hard and been told by the label, like, no, this isn't right. Yeah. So that's my story about Hellsong. Yeah.